Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Jonathan Messina, and I'm sitting down here with Brandon Oates. We're doing our classroom to career segment, and we're going to learn a little bit about the business education major. So, Brandon, can you just let us know what year you graduated in?
Yes, I graduated in May 2018.
Awesome. And just to start us off with the first question, I was first wondering, what made you decide to pursue business education?
Yeah, so I've wanted to be a teacher for quite a while. But of course, as I was going throughout school, the actual grade level and subject area I wanted to teach changed. It's when I really got to high school and saw the value in business classes and like what they can offer you as an adult and then just being a member of society is why I knew that I wanted to teach specifically business. But again, I wanted to be a teacher since second grade. So, I mean, it changed a lot over the years as I was going throughout school. I actually came into ISU as a business education major. I was the only one at the time in my class who designated the major my freshman year. So I knew going into college that I wanted to be business ed.
Well, that's really cool. And did more people kind of tag along as you went through the years?
Yes. So as I went throughout the program, more people joined in and transferred in from other majors as undergraduate college students do. They kind of figure out what they want to do as they take more gen eds and see how the first couple of years go.
That's really cool. And then what was your favorite major related class and why?
Yes. So I actually just looked that up again to make sure I got the name. BE 260. So Foundations of Business Education, because it was the first true class that we got just a general sense of what being a teacher is actually going to entail, because being a student does not prepare you to be a teacher by any means. You just do not see a complete whole other side of the educational sphere. And 260 is where we finally got to see that in the program as we're going into, I believe it was junior year.
What kind of stuff did you have to do in the class?
Yeah, so I mean, well, the class started off with some history about business education, right, where it stemmed from, and then also just more so just the basic philosophies of education and trying to figure out ourselves as a teacher and like what we got into the field for and what we wanted to accomplish. And then we started a little bit getting into how essentially to teach. So we started talking about concepts like conceptual understanding and technical skills and problem solving and how those all relate to business, and then of course business education and how we would actually develop those skills in our future students.
Awesome. And then how do you think ISU prepared you for your current role?
The size of the major, I think, helped a lot. So we were a very tight-knit cohort. We had about 6 or so in the cohort. We had so many classes together because, especially once you get into junior year, you kind of have your sequence of classes. And just having that really tight-knit cohort really helped with just supporting each other outside of class hours, met at the library several times, going out to dinner, going to conferences. So I think just by able to provide those small class sizes and then those professors who are willing to go above and beyond really helped us be successful in the future.
And then what of your current job, what are some of your biggest challenges and what do you like best about the job?
Yes. So what I like best is connecting with students, by far, always the top, which is why under our current global circumstances right now, the hybrid model has been nice to be able to actually connect with students back in person. So that has been great. In terms of the challenges of the job, I think the biggest challenge is that those who are not in the educational field as a career truly don't know what goes on from the side of a teacher, but they think they do because they were a student at one time. So that's the biggest challenge. Not only just to communicate that to others, but also trying to move forward and progress, always knowing that that type of criticism is coming at you.
Mm-hmm. And then what kind of classes do you teach for business education? Are you sticking to like accounting and like some of the similar general education ones you might find at the here at ISU, or is it a little more extensive than that?
So it's interesting because the program really prepares you, I feel like, a lot for high school. It is a K-12 program, which is nice. So I did actually student teaching at the high school level, and even at the elementary level and like in the library where they really start those foundational skills on the computer. I actually ended up in the junior high. So right now I teach 6th and 7th grade computer literacy, and then 8th grade BELT, which stands for Business Entrepreneurship Leadership Training. So we go over the basic foundations of business concepts, such as like wants versus needs, basic budgeting, money management. And then we also get into entrepreneurship and how it affects our community. And then while also at the same time building leadership skills.
That's really awesome. That's in a middle school?
It is, yes. The BELT class is at the 8th grade level, and then the computer literacy is at the 6th and 7th grade level.
Wow, I wish I had some of those kind of programs in my middle school.
I was going to say same thing. So I never had those extensive of exploratory classes growing up either. Not until at least high school.
Exactly. And then if any of our students are interested in the business education major, how do you think they should better prepare themselves for a career in that?
I would say, don't be afraid, especially during student teaching, to experiment with your teaching style, different instructional strategies, and really try and find your strong suit. So teaching is really a lot of trial and error when it comes to instructional strategies, because what's going to be effective depends not only on you at that particular time, but really also depends on the students that you have. So something that may have worked last year does not necessarily work the year afterwards. Now, of course, this year really taught us that, but it's more prevalent than ever. But I just think they need to know that it is okay to constantly try new things, constantly keep learning, being a lifelong learner. And that's really what the best teachers grow to be.
All right. Well, those are all the questions I have for you, Brandon. I hope anybody who's watching this and had maybe an interest in business education got to learn something and might be interested in taking it on as their major. So thank you a ton, Brandon.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
And then do you have any last words you want to say?
I would say if you're at all interested in being a teacher and you're watching this because you're probably interested in the college of business to some extent, do it. It's the best of both worlds.
All right. You heard it from here, guys.